Yo, what's going on guys, Arekkz here and welcome back to another Division video. And in this video, I'm going to be running you guys through the 1.3 patch notes. These have just gone live alongside a 1.3 trailer as well, which you can see playing in the background. The video of course gives us a look into some of the stuff we'll be doing in the 1.3 update that drops tomorrow for PC and Xbox One, and of course August the 2nd for PS4. But the patch notes of course give us a broader look at everything that's going to be included in the update, so I figured you guys would be super interested in this. With that being said, if you guys do enjoy this, a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below and let me know what you think, but let's get started. First of all, under the heading of Underground, as a kind of quick summary of what the actual update itself is, they say here that there is a secret war going on in the uncharted and claustrophobic depths of Manhattan, and you've got to root out the threat to earn unique rewards. You of course get to explore the underground of New York. There's also operations, which you guys have seen gameplay of on the channel. Those are the randomly generated levels with new kind of hazards and traps and whatnot. And of course on top of that you also have directives which allow you to add unique twists to your gameplay, basically modifiers that make it harder but give you better rewards. And on top of that you'll also have an underground rank. So now we'll have a player level, we'll also have a Dark Zone rank and an underground rank. And of course, just like with the Dark Zone, the higher the rank in the underground, the more stuff you'll be able to buy. Now, as for the new incursion, Dragon's Nest, they say here, travel to Hell's Kitchen and investigate rumours of a new, cleaner weapon that can wreak havoc throughout Manhattan. You must be level 30 and complete the mission General Assembly to access the incursion. The encounter is balanced for a team of 4 players outfitted with new high-level gear, and slightly different to last time, but the new Heroic mode, which is a tier above challenge, is going to be added a week after release. So kind of like how with Clear Skies, they added challenge mode a week after the incursion went live. This time round they're going to be adding Heroic, so I would therefore assume that means that Hard and Challenge go live tomorrow, and then Heroic goes live the following Tuesday. As for the new gear sets and weapons, 3 of these you should know about from the video that I uploaded during E3, and those are the Blind gear set, which basically allows you to drop a flashbang-like effect every time you kill an enemy. You also have the Firecrest gear set, which basically gives you incendiary bullets every time you kill an enemy that's on fire. And you have the Reclaimer gear set, which of course allows you to use consumables for your entire team and not consume them in the process. However, the description for the Deadeye set says, dictate long-range engagements with powerful critical strikes or accurate headshots. Now, if you guys haven't already seen the gear set video that I just uploaded, check that one out for more details. But in short, this basically allows you to either aim down the sights for normal marksman rifle behavior, or you can instead shoulder for guaranteed crits at the cost of not having a headshot damage modifier. Again, if you want a more detailed explanation, I have a video on that that's on the channel, just gone live, and you can find that linked down below. And they also made a mention down below, of course, to the Blind System MDR rifle. They did say that do note this will not be implemented tomorrow, but will instead come in a future update. Now, that stuff there is all part of the Underground update. If you have the Underground update, you have the Season Pass, you will get that content. However, outside of that, there is also the 1.3 update, so if you're not getting the DLC, you're not getting the Underground update, then this is what you'll get. You'll get one new gear set, and that is called the Alpha Bridge set, and the description for this in the patch notes says, take advantage of all your equipped weapon talents with this powerful set. Again, you can find a more detailed look at that in the video in the description box down below, but in short, this one allows you to take advantage of all of the weapon talents on your primary and secondary weapons, provided that they are of the same type. i.e. if you're holding 2 SMGs, you can use all the weapon talents if they are active. On top of that, there will also be new high-end weapons and weapon types. They're going to have the military G36 assault rifle, the G36C assault rifle, G36 enhanced assault rifle, surplus SVD marksman rifle, the paratrooper SVD marksman rifle, the PP-19 submachine gun, the enhanced PP-19 submachine gun, the X45 pistol, and the first wave X45 pistol. Plus, they added a new high-end weapon, the Showstopper, which is of course the one we saw in the previous trailer, which is a unique full auto shotgun that's perfect for close quarters combat. Now, they didn't list any additional named high-end, so I'm not too sure whether there will be more, or whether they're just going to kind of keep them for a secret, but for the time being, those are the ones that are called out. On top of that, there will be new Heroic and Challenge Mode missions. They're going to be adding Challenge Mode difficulty for 2 new main missions, the Hudson Refugee Camp and also the Queen's Tunnel Camp. And they're also going to be adding the Heroic mode difficulty to all the existing missions, and that basically means you have to fight even stronger enemies to unlock top tier rewards. So of course, do bear in mind, this update raises the gear score caps. There'll be gear score 229 weapons, and I believe gear score 268 or something for actual pieces of gear. Now Heroic will be available for the main missions, Refugee Camp, Queen's Tunnel, Russian Consulate, Lincoln Tunnel Checkpoint, Lexington and Warrengate Power Plant, basically all of the current and new challenge mode missions. It'll also be available for Incursions, Falcon Lost, Clear Sky and Dragon's Nest. Again, remember that Heroic will only be available 1 week after the release for Dragon's Nest, but they didn't state that for the other two, so I would imagine on Tuesday, i.e. tomorrow, you'll be able to do Heroic, Falcon Lost and Clear Sky. But on top of that, do note that daily missions will not support the Heroic difficulty. As for the base of operations, there'll be an extension. There'll now be the terminal, which is a new shared space inside the base of operations. The terminal can be found at the back of the base of operations next to the reward claims vendor. And within this space, you can visit the high-value target contractors and all the new vendors. Also, the special equipment vendor has been split into 2 vendors within the terminal, the items vendor and the blueprint vendor. And now, players can also fast travel directly to the terminal. As for weapon recalibration, you can now recalibrate one of your weapon talents at the recalibration bench. And recalibrating a weapon talent requires weapon kits and Phoenix credits. And weapon kits can be acquired through drops in the game, or they can be crafted. Now, that is it for the 1.3 editions. Then moving over to game changes. Under gameplay, they're going to be adding a new Dark Zone bracket for 231 plus gear score. So of course, as you guys know, 201 plus is the current max, and that's of course based on the gear score that you can attain. But in this new update, because there are higher gear score items, you will of course be able to get into a even higher bracket, and that would of course apply the same logic to the current one. That would mean if you go into that bracket, you'll of course be getting top tier rewards. On top of that, the player stash size has been increased to 70 total slots, including the base of operation upgrades. Also, level 30 players will now only encounter level 30 or higher enemies in free roam. You can also now convert 3 high-end division tech to any of the high-end crafting materials, which is so good because right now if you're in the high-end Dark Zone, the 201 plus bracket, you basically get nothing but high-end division tech, which is ultimately useless unless you are crafting a division tech required item. So this now means you can convert that just like you would the other ones, so that is going to be very, very useful. Plus they have reduced the Phoenix credit cost of 204 high-end weapons, 240 gear set items and blueprints. The special equipment vendor in the tech wing only sells items now and will no longer sell blueprints. Blueprints have now been moved to the vendor in the terminal. You can no longer share an item that you have equipped. There are a couple of other points to do with matchmaking. Again, if you want to read those in depth, you can check them for yourselves. One of the really cool important things, which will definitely help some of you guys that have had nightmare stories in matchmaking, you can now no longer kick a group member in a boss fight and up to 1 minute after it has been completed. So that way it will stop people from, say, taking someone to the end of the incursion, kicking them out and then inviting their friend in. Also, they've made it so that all players now need to be present in the final circle in Clear Sky before you can interact with the laptops and the fuses, so that stops people from standing outside. Also, following on from that, NPCs that are located in the final circle will instantly respawn until all the players enter the area. So again, that stops you standing outside, killing them to kind of give you guys an easy run on the first time. Also, players can no longer deploy a mobile cover skill while they are performing a cover-to-cover move, which basically means this should, fingers crossed, hopefully stop all of the wall breaching, because basically if you can't run and deploy it, it should stop everyone from being able to get through and glitch through walls. So hopefully this will actually see an end to all those glitches, but we'll have to wait and see whether that actually works. And finally, exotic damage resilience is now capped at 90%. You can't go up to 100%, which means you can't make yourself completely invulnerable to fire. As for weapons, now some of these we've already spoken about. We know that LMGs are going to get a bonus which increases damage to targets out of cover. We know that shotguns are going to get stagger. And we also know that assault rifles will get enemy armor damage. Of course, those last two only apply to PvE. Shotguns do, however, get a 30% damage increase in PvP to kind of compensate for the fact that you can't use stagger. Assault rifles, however, do not have an equivalent, so right now they won't actually be that useful. On top of that, as mentioned in my last video, they did decrease damage of the AUG and the Vector by 10%. They also increased the minimum accuracy cap on the M1A, and the damage done by explosive bullets has been reduced, as has the status effect on incendiary bullets. Moving over to items, starting with gear pieces. Every gear piece now has a set number of mod slots that cannot be recalibrated. In other words, they come with these fixed every single time they drop. However, that will only apply to gear pieces that drop after the 1.3 update. And the way it works is as follows. All chest pieces will come with 2 mod slots. Mask will come with 1. Knee pads will come with 1, backpacks will come with 1, and gloves and holsters will come with 0. Basically, that means that you won't be able to recalibrate to give yourself more mod slots, nor will you be in a situation where you find, say, a chest piece that doesn't have any at all. So in that respect, it's nice because it now means you can focus your recalibration on things like attributes, bonuses, and anything else like that. And it does, of course, mean that post 1.3, you'll have a total of 5 mod slots to play around with regardless. However, holsters will now always have all 3 attributes. Then moving over to the nerf to Sentry's Call and Striker's Battle Gear. As mentioned the other day, they're going to be giving a 5-piece bonus to this set to try and take some of the potency from the 2 and 3-piece bonuses to prevent people doing the 3-3 set. So Sentry's Call, as you guys know now, the 2 and 3-piece set bonuses are 30% headshot damage and 20% damage to elites. However, post-update, Sentry's Call 2 set will then be plus 10% headshot damage, 3 set will be plus 10% damage to elites, and the final 5 set will be plus 20% headshot damage and 10% damage to elites. So you can still have the exact same damage as before, but in order to do that you have to have 5 pieces. As for Striker's Battle Gear, similar thing applies. 2-piece and 3-piece currently is 20% armor damage and 50% critical hit damage. However, as of the update tomorrow, Striker's Battle Gear 2-piece will be 10% armor damage, 3-piece will be 20% critical hit damage, and 5-piece will be the additional 10% enemy armor damage and 30% critical hit damage. Then moving quickly over to the Dark Zone, again as mentioned, the 231 plus gear score bracket will include even more powerful NPCs. Now in DZ 1 and 2 you'll have level 33 NPCs, 3 and 4 will have 34, and 5 and 6 will have level 35. That is of course equivalent to heroic level enemies, so most people won't be in there as of tomorrow straight away. You'll of course have to get some gear pieces because most people are sitting at around, you know, anywhere between 210 to 220, something like that. So generally speaking, most people won't even hit that until they get some of the brand new gear. On top of that, to help people gear up, in DZ 05 and 6 in the gear score bracket 201 plus area, we'll now have a chance to drop gear score 229 high ends and 268 gear sets. So of course that basically means you're going to want to go to the top of the Dark Zone in 201 plus bracket, start farming some bosses, and that'll help you get some gear pieces which will then raise your gear score and allow you to enter the even higher brackets. Plus Dark Zone chests now scale better with the gear score bracket that you are in, so hopefully we should get some slightly better rewards there. Moving over to loot changes, the high risk value targets have now had their rewards and difficulty adjusted to take into account the gear set increase. They've also normalised the loot drops from the main missions in challenge mode. Caduceus now drops from hard mode mission bosses. Now I don't know whether that means it's going to start dropping at a higher gear score. I really hope it does because that would be a really cool weapon to be able to bring forward, but for that we'll have to wait and see. Normal mode missions now drop superior items, and Green Division tech will no longer drop in the Dark Zone after level 30. And beyond that, the rest of it just speaks about UI and some bug fixes, but if you guys want to see that for yourself, then I will just simply link you to the patch notes, which you can find down below, so that way you can scan through them. But for now, that is all the patch notes in a nutshell. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.